sell some stuff. Let's buy some stuff. And then let's go search for type your boyfriend. And then straight from there, I think we're going to go to the cryptological spot. Try to get the amulet. Fucking regrets this game. It's great. I want to get the amulet because supposedly that'll help me like talk to the moths and like the tongues. So I thought I wanted to get the amulet now. And I have the scalpel, but I need to sell it to Spec to get one of the last mirror casters, but I'm not going to do that until I'm almost done with the point because I kind of want to use the scalpel in combat. I don't think that would make the balloons mad. I want to use it on the balloons because the upgraded scalpel, I think is like the best weapon in the game. When I've seen it. It's so freaking good. Yeah, it costs 190 to upgrade it, and then I'm gonna have to like trade it, but I figure I'll use it throughout most of this level, basically the end of the game anyway. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll just wait to trade it, and I'll use it like fight the murders and stuff. I pretty much know what I'm gonna do. For the most part, I have a good idea of what I'm gonna do with her. I always get nervous when selling oddities, but I don't think you don't like the butterfly. I always want to buy things that upgrade permanent abilities.
These ciphers are killing me.
Cipher sounds. Cipher don't get gas. That's really nice. I don't know if we could use it. I could. Calsteed or Alger. Someone could use it. It's so expensive. But it is really nice. All these weapons are decent. Ciphers. And this artifact is decent because not everyone has artifacts. I guess this is where you could finally get the mind rating. Haven't gotten it if you want, but it's so late in the game. It's still worth getting, but I guess that's what they offer. So late. I like this cloak, but it's too expensive. And the one I have is good. It's pretty good anyway. And I want to save some cash out of these for other stuff. So let's grab. Alright, so let's sell more and grab that. I think I can sell the boxes. Even though that look freaking cool. By the cup, I can sell the cup. Just the damn cup. Get them. Yeah. The weapons are all pretty good. They're not like crazy good, but they're pretty good. This weapon's very good. But the only problem is it's a heavy range. It's heavy that uses speed. And the only one that can use heavy weapons is I think Eratus, but he doesn't have speed. Unless maybe I can give it to Typeer, who I know is probably going to have a penalty, but I don't know. It's funky. It's a funky weapon. It's cool that they put it in the game, though. Because even though like 99% of people probably will not be able to use it or use it effectively, it's cool that they put it into the game just in case somebody playing the game did have a heavy weapon character with very high speed, which would be weird. But I guess just in case somebody like fucked up their build, there's a weapon for them, which I think that's cool. All right, let's get it. Move my son, come get some. In a couple, I'll keep them. Just like with shields, like not everyone's got one. So if I find cheap shields, and just like kind of similar with artifacts, like but it's very expensive. So I think that's probably all we purchase for now. We could purchase this, give it to somebody, but we'll probably find better ones. I think we're good. Uh, I think we're alright. I do like that, and I do like the idea of this play. But yeah, I think that's it. The only other thing we'll buy was this. We could sell more commodities. We'll come back for it if we want it. I wonder, like, if you kill Luxu, if like he just drops all this stuff, which I highly doubt. I'm assuming he'll drop something, probably some shins and like a weapon, but I highly doubt he would drop all of this shit. All right, I think that's good. Get him, yeah. Oh yeah, I want to upgrade the shunt, the shint. I know it seems stupid, but man, fuck that. I'm gonna do it. What are we at? 193? Fuck it, let's do it. I don't think the bloom will get mad at me for using the scalpel like to kill enemies. So I think it should be alright. And even if it does, it'll just be part of my role-playing experience. You say his name Justin. This is such a nasty weapon. It's nasty. You know what I didn't think about? Fuck Pac. White Pac. I don't like Pac. Fuck Pac. White Pac. I don't like Pac. It's a speed weapon. Hold up. Bling, 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 bling. Bling, 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 bling. I did not think about that. It's a fucking speed weapon. I was going to use it on my main character, but it's a speed weapon, so probably should. We do have a fair amount of speed, but, you know, it's not like we're rolling in it. It is a fucking nasty weapon. I think this is, at least from what I've seen so far, and we're very, very far in the game. At least from what I've seen so far, I think this is arguably the best weapon in the game. If you max, without any other extra abilities or anything, if you max damage it, max strength it, whatever, you do like a full attack, it's 27 damage. I haven't seen a weapon that does more than 27 damage. I haven't seen a weapon that does more than like 24. Or like 22, maybe 24. It's an awesome weapon. The only thing is, you got to use a lot of speed with this weapon. Like, that's the only problem with this weapon, is that its base hit is going to be what, 9 or 12, 9 or 12. So its base hit is going to be kind of peanut, which means like you do have to use a lot of speed with it. But if you do max it, it's going to be filthy. Plus on hit, if you hit someone, their resistance goes down, which is big time. And then if you crit hit them, you become phased, which is good because then your evasion goes up by 30% and you get more resistance. And you take less damage from transdimensional hits, I guess. Yeah, this is a real nice weapon. I could just give it to Tiberia, I guess. I'm gonna have to trade it eventually, but it's a frack patty whack. Nice weapon. Frack patty whack, give a dog a bone. Oh yeah, Matt Keenan's a speed demon as well. Hold up. Hold up. Bling, 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 bling. He's already got a good weapon though, to be honest. And he's got a nice shield. A real nice shield. But his weapon's pretty decent. Not great, but it's pretty decent. 7 relativistic, which ignores all resistance, which is great. And then if you max it, it's 19. So, I mean, it's not great, but it's a good weapon. It's expensive. It's a spicy, man. It's a spicy, man. Man, it's a spicy, man. Man, it's a spicy, man. It's a spicy. It's a spicy, man. So let's take a look at Big Matt. Wait, let's just see what else we got here. Yeah, Harry, Ella. Hey. He actually does have decent speed, but he doesn't have any edge. I actually like the quick axe. I think the quick axe is one of the most underrated weapons in the game. Because sure, you're getting 15 per hit, right? Without damage, without effort applied. And then the effort does very little. The effort will bump it to 18. Which is good, but it's nothing crazy. But you also, when you hit them, it adds bleed damage. 6 bleed damage per round for 2 rounds. So it's like you're essentially getting 12 more damage. So you're essentially getting 30 damage per hit. Essentially. You hit them once, and it's overall potentially going to do 30 damage. If you put max effort in, you'll get 18, and then they'll get bleed, maybe unless they're like a robot or something. And they'll take 6 damage per round for 2 rounds. So essentially per hit, they're going to take 30 damage, which is, great. Which 30 damage by itself would be the best weapon in the game that I've seen so far. So I think the quick axe is very underrated. Very, very underrated. The only problem is chemical damage doesn't seem to apply to certain characters. I don't know. It's weird. I've had him do good damage on enemies, and then I've had him do max effort and only get 12 damage. Maybe they just had very high resistances or whatever. That's one thing the game does not explain well at all. The game actually really does not explain a lot of things, and the combat's simplistic and easy, so you don't have to know it inside and out. But if the combat was much harder, it would be very annoying because they do not explain the combat at all. They just don't. I do not understand what the different damage types do. Chemical damage, shock damage, transdimensional damage, mind damage. I have no clue what the extra what each damage type does. I really don't. And you would think, well, derp, each enemy has each enemy is either strong or weak to certain damage types. So it's you look on the enemy's stats, and it'll say like they're weak to chemical, strong to electricity, or whatever. So, but no, it doesn't. When you look at the enemy's health and stuff, I can't find it. I can't find out what they're weak to, and there's not enough combat in the game to like, for me, or to like even remember to like experiment and like look at what the damage shows. So it turns out to be this really weird system that I just totally don't understand. And because the combat is so easy, I never have to really understand it. But that was kind of a miss, but a rare miss by NXL on that. Like the combat should have been much harder, and it should have been explained much better. So you're basically maximizing all of your strategy options and understanding what you can and can't do. But because you have great grasp of the knowledge, the game is much harder, but it like evens out. Whereas it's like, what it feels like to me is the combat is very easy, but they don't explain much about the combat or the abilities or the damage types. So players generally are not maximizing their effectiveness in combat. So it's almost like evening the scales a bit, where it's still too easy, but I think it evens the scales a bit because it's like it's super easy, but characters, but you like have no idea how to maximize your combat output, so, which is kind of annoying. It's like I'd rather have it be a balance of like the combat's hard, but you have many options at your disposal, and it's easy to understand the combat systems, so you can take advantage of it. Rather than like combat's very easy, but it's obtuse and doesn't explain anything. But because it's easy, you don't have to understand much to be able to beat it. Like I hate that. But having said that, I still prefer the game to have had combat than not have it. I still like that there's combat. I don't mind the combat. But it is just kind of annoying when it's like, I don't know, like I guess you have to guess like would like, so what would electricity damage be better against robots then, or would they be immune to that? And then it's like, and then chemical damage like would be bad to use against mutants, I would think, or like mutants or the Maw or something, because they're like, I don't know, irradiated and stuff, I guess. Um, and then like mind damage would be bad to use against like psychic or wizard characters. I don't freaking know. I don't know. Or maybe it would be good to use that. I don't know. And then transdimensional. My guess is this. This is the only thing I can kind of figure out from it on my own. That transdimensional damage seems to be the one damage type that no enemy is strong to. Like the one thing I can kind of understand, or at least that I can make a good assumption, is that transdimensional damage is the best damage type to have because um, there's no like resistance to it. The that's what I would gather is that like every enemy is like weak to transdimension. Um, that no enemy is strong to it. So like it's always the best damage type to use. Whereas like, for example, if there was an enemy that was weak to chemical damage, right, and nothing else, strong to like electricity or strong to mind damage, um, then using chemical damage would be, or using transdimensional damage would be like the same thing as using chemical damage. But using electricity damage would be way worse, and then using mind damage would be worse. Um, that's my guess. That's my understanding. That like my guesstimation, my absolute guess is that there are certain enemies that are weak or strong to certain damage types, but every enemy is weak to transdimensional. So while a certain enemy might be weak to mind damage but nothing else, my guess is that you could use mind damage against them for the best benefit, or transdimensional against them for the best benefit. Because transdimensional will be the one size fits all. Um, my guess is that transdimensional will do just as much damage as the damage type that the enemy is specifically weak to. And my guess is that no characters in the game are strong to it. However, I could be completely wrong, and transdimensional damage could literally just be another damage type that enemies are strong or weak to, just like everything else. I could be completely wrong. And transdimensional damage would be beneficial to use against like transdimensional creatures or characters that are like in between dimensions like Callistes or whatever, who's got like two other versions of herself in between dimensions. Characters that like maybe the Abyssgos or whatever, those like kind of mutant creatures. Um, Maybe it would be good against them, transdimensional as well, because they seem to be transdimensional characters. Like they came out of the mirror. That one came out of the cyst. Um, so I don't know. My guess was, my guess still is that transdimensional is like the one size fits all. It's good against every enemy type. But then again, I don't really know for sure, and maybe it's just another regular damage type, rather strength and weakness. I don't know. In my opinion, that's probably the worst thing that they explained in the game. Probably the thing they did the worst explaining about. Like, I do not recall them explaining at all about that. Boy, I know this is made for a boring ass fucking stream. I purposely wanted to start this stream with, like, interesting stuff and then action. Because I know my streams have been, like, just boring lately. So I wanted to fucking start this one with action. I wanted to quickly buy the stuff from Loxu because I thought it was interesting just to kind of show some of the good stuff and to show that I was upgrading the transdimensional scalpel, which is a cool thing because you have to find both pieces and then the notes put together. So. And then I was going to go right next door to the Chilla Shrine to find the guy that dropped the ring, that dropped Alvin's ring from Tibir for his companion quest. I was gonna have Tibir confront that guy. Then I was gonna go to the Trichological Swamp and try to do a couple of things. Talk to the two doctors with Callistes present to advance her companion quest. Then I think Orth Fang is there as well to start Algern's companion quest, then I think also have Erichus present with the two doctors. I don't think it does anything with his quest, but I think because I think his quest is with some lady, I think a person that's in the Burdens like jails or whatever. But I think he has some dialogue with the doctor she's talking next to him. And then I was gonna try to think. I think I would have to get into the law that's charcological. I forget how to do it. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a guy there like Al Tiago or something, and you can feed him to the maw. I'm not sure if I'm gonna feed him to the maw or have myself be fed on the maw. I'm leaning towards having myself fed on the maw, but I heard someone say that they fed whatever his name was, El Tiago or whatever, and that when they got to the heart, Ma, when they got to the heart, the bloom was like impressed by their ability to convince or deceive El Tiago to like give himself up by your ability to like make him be something like that. But either send El Tiago into the maw or allow myself to be eaten, and then I guess I'll go into the maw, which I would then find the trapped trading post, I believe, and then I don't know if I that well, but then somehow acquire the amulet, and then come back with the amulet, which I'm supposed to give to Rakogan, but that's the thing is I will give it to him, but not yet. I want to get the amulet for myself, at least for a bit. I want to use the amulet. I want to get the amulet because I want to use it myself to like help talk to and open up maws and talk to tongues and stuff like that. Because supposedly the maws and I guess the bloom they both react very well, and the tongues I guess which I haven't met a tongue yet, but supposedly they all react very well to the amulet, like it or something. So I'm assuming that will make my time easier going through optional mods, doing side quests, shit like that. Which is interesting because I kind of liken it to this, like using the amulet to navigate through optional mods and stuff is a way that might make it a little easier and make the bloom like you. But using the transdimensional scalpel is a way to like shortcut through mods and do stuff like that. And I'm just assuming that uh, it would make it quick and handy, but the bloom would hate you for using it. So it's funny because it seems like the amulet is like the inverse of the transdimensional scalpel. It seems like both items would make traversing the maws easier, but one of the items the bloom likes and the other item the bloom hates. I mean, I could be wrong, but at least that's what I gather looking from my position. I haven't played it yet. I could be wrong, and maybe the amulet completely doesn't do freaking anything. Originally, I was gonna get the visual cortex first and free the Lascars. Try to free the Lascars, the helmet, uh, But I think I'm gonna go to the Chircological Swamp first. Uh, yeah, I'll go there first because having the Cortex, getting the last Garcon was cool, doing the helmet thing, and I need to get the Visual Cortex. I think in order to get the last Mirrorcaster, I think for Kogan. Plus, it's like it costs a lot of XP and stuff like that. But doing that quest, I'm gonna have to be like talking to and traversing mobs and stuff like that. So it's like I would rather get the whatever transdimensional amulet or whatever, Megaverse amulet or monster amulet, magnanimous, magma, the magnetic amulet or something. I don't know. I would rather get that first because I feel like that would be more beneficial throughout my journey. Uh, I'm pretty sure I know what I want to do, which is half the battle. I have a love-hate relationship with Bloom right now. I like it, but I don't like it. I like it in that the design is pretty good and there's a lot of interesting stuff, many interesting kind of like not conclusions, but interesting um, interesting like quest, not conclusions, but like it's pushing the story and the companion quest along towards their conclusion. You know, it's interesting in that sense. And there's a lot of important quests and actions that potentially occur. But I also dislike it because it's like I don't know. It's almost like it's almost like stressful a little bit because I don't want to mess up any of the like end of the game stuff. This is like the last main area of the game, um, and I don't want to mess up the companion quests and shit like that. And it seems like there's a lot of like complicated ways of potentially doing things that can change your fortune or favor potentially with certain entities and characters in the game. Um, and like some seemingly minute things that can have huge impacts. So it's I like the balloon, but I also don't like the balloon for those reasons. Like it's hard to quantify, but it's funny because I've heard people say like second half of the game or towards the end of the game is like half baked, and I don't really understand when people say that. Maybe it will be in terms of the story, like they did a lot of setup and stuff, and then I can see why it might seem like they rushed the story because if you didn't know any better, you would have expected there to at least be one more major area after the bloom, but from what I understand, the bloom is like basically the end of the game, or like the last major area, and then the rest would just be like some short linear stuff, I guess. Um, so I guess I can understand that, but the bloom, the bloom, and the quests here, they seem to have pretty much as much flexibility and choice as most of the other quests previously in the game, so I don't know. I don't know what they meant by what people meant by like the second half of the game is like half baked and rushed shit. When people said that, I was expecting the balloon to be like very small and like not extensive and like quick and like easy to navigate and complete, and it's not at all. In fact, while the bloom is not as geographically large as Sagus Cliffs. Actually, it wrong. Sagus Cliffs. Okay. Um, I don't know, like in terms of quest complexity and amount of content. Like, while again, I don't think it's as large as Sagus Cliffs. At least compared to the other two main areas. Uh, the Bloom, Sagus Cliffs and the Bloom are like above and beyond the largest. And the Bloom is like, I would say at least half the content of um, Sagus Cliffs, where like Valley of the Dead Heroes is probably like 1/8 the amount of content. Male of Vest was like probably 1/20th the amount of content. So I don't know. Like the Bloom is way more packed out and busy and complex and rich than I expected it to be with the way people have talked. But I think probably what people complained about is like what it seems like is that the story builds up and builds up into like what would typically be like an important maybe like 2/3 of the way through, and then still with a climax after that. But then it just kind of ends. Like I've heard people say that it like ends it just as it starts to get going in the story, it kind of ends. So I get that, but this last major area is like pretty big and rich and pretty packed with stuff. Whereas people have complained that it's it's rushed and short and stuff. But uh, we shall see. But I really want to get. I love this game, but I want to finally get through it so I can start like so many other games. Landscape, but now I really want to try um, my King Arthur Knight's Tale that I purchased. Very curious, very curious about it. Let me grab a drink. Let me grab a drink and then let's kick some ass. Chirological ass. So with the coffee venom in my skull, I think I'll give it to you. Dum, 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 dum. And with the coffee venom in my skull, you know what I'm gonna do. Boom, 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 boom. And the cat's coming through your rear. I think they're liking with you. Boom, 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 boom. So with the coffee venom in my skull, I think I'll give it to you. Bow, bing, 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 bing. Bow, bing, 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 bing. So with the cats are coming through your rear, I think I'll give it to you. And with the chica coming through the rear, I think she gave it to you. Ding, 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 ding. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. There's a story of an ugly baby. Wait, what is this? Keeper? He was really kinda cool right on his own. He loved his mama. He loved his mama. But he respects the. What was it? He respects the. Oh, yeah. Soldier sailors. The last guys appeared to be their folk knowledge. Their god explores it. Yes, it would be very wise to be unwise and protect them. Most of the scars on the last scars peaks in a familiar language as they rear themselves with a practiced melodic bearing. Are they like bears? Like a bearing? Like a bear. The paw opened in the boom. The paw opened in a boom? The paw opened in the boom, connecting the nun's world through their courage. The nun's world to their courage. Bro, what the Frank, Pa? Oh my gosh, I forgot like a lot of these. Oh, and the cats are coming through your rear. I think they'll give it to you. I thought it would explain the combat, but that's alright. That's alright. That's okay. It's alright. Yes, you know, in mysterious ways like the sun. Alright, let's get down to business. I'm gonna on the floor on what is this, man? It's like a rocket in here with this shit, man. It's like a rocket in here today. I said, let's get down to business. I'm gonna on the floor on what is this, man? I'm gonna turn the plow around. What is this, man? I'm gonna turn the plow around today. I said, let's get down to biscuits, and I'm gonna turn the plow around. 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 I'm gonna turn the plow. I'm gonna turn the plow around, round. I'm gonna turn the plow around. I'm gonna turn the plow around. I'm gonna turn the play. Players play. Losers slay. Hold up. Blink, 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 blink. Wow, his speed is not as good as I expected it to be. Wait, so what you expected? Mm, out of the question. Wait, so what you expected? Mm, out of the question. Wait, so what you expected? Mm, out of the question? Yes. Hold up. And I ain't never, ever seen a shucker who could shuck like that. And I ain't never seen a shucker who could shuck like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to the keen warrior, young bold warrior, Matt Keena. Wild out. What's my motherfucking name? Wild out. Who am I rolling with? Wild out. Yeah, niggas and bitches and hoes, jiggers and bitches like whoa. Tina, what's my name? What's my name, bitch? Tina. Who am I? The only good thing about this is Sonic Disruption. Like Sonic the Hedgehog takes armor off so much is real good. But hey yo, fuck that. Hey yo, motherfuck that. I'ma do what I can. I'm a real ass trying to do what I can. Move. Get out the way. Get out the way. Now bring it. Get out the way. Now stink it. I'm on that right track. Yeah, I'm stinking right back. Yeah, I stink to hoes all the time because I'm right back. I'm stinking with these hoes because I'm stinking tonight. You want to see me stinking hard? Man, I'm stinking tonight. Hell yeah. I'm stinking on the road and on the highway. So if you stinking with good fellas, get the fluff out of my way. Man, I'm DUI, hardly never caught stinking. You want to see me up in the club now? You see me shrinking. Alright. I actually do have 11 speed. It's not terrible, but Matt Keenan's got 12 and 2. But it's like, are we going to use her often enough in Combate? You know what we gonna do? Rocket in combate. Well, you know what we gonna do? We rockin' the tate. In combate. You know what we gonna do? We rockin' the tate. Move. Let's now bring it. Get out the. Y'all bring it. Y'all bring it. Well, I'm on the right track, fella. I'll be right back. If you want to see me stinking with my hose, I'll be right back. You see me here, you'll put some stinking tonight. You want to give me some booze? Yeah, I'm drinking tonight. Hell yeah. I stinking 1,000 on the highway. So if you stinking like stink puppies, get the stink out of my way. You try to stink, hardly never caught stinking. You want to see me in the club? No, I'll be shrinking. Dude, her evasion is 95. If we get it to 100, does that, like, I'm just very curious. Let's give this to the big man. Hold up. I wonder if they'll allow it to be at 100. And if it's at 100 evasion, like, you'll never get hit. Hold up. That's so crazy, brother. How in the world is... How is that possible? How is that possible? Bruh, if you have 100 evasion, how is that fucking possible, dude? What the frank? What the frank fuck? Yo, I'm like white pop. I don't like pop. You know what though? It's almost like a waste of her. It's almost like good if she gets if whoever has the skill gets hit, because then the character will get hobbled. But like you said, that's crazy. She has 100% evasion. How will she ever get hit? I'm very confused. I'll be honest. I don't understand. I don't fucking understand. Just because you keep your booty clean, I'd rather fuck with you. I'd rather fuck with you, girl. Yeah, I'd rather fuck with you. I'd rather fuck with you. I'd rather fuck with you, girl. Yeah, I'd rather fuck with you. I'd rather give this to Rin, to be honest. I guess we'll keep it, man. We'll keep her at 100% evasion. Fuck it. Fuck it. You know what? You know what? We'll fucking try to use her in fights, son. We'll try to use her in fights. We'll give her the trans-dimensional fucking scalpel, and we'll try to fucking use her in fights. The only shitty thing is she's so low. That's why they call her Big Soft. Hey yo, they motherfucking call me Big Softy. Yeah, because they motherfucking call me Big Softy. They take 1 damage? What? What? Yeah, you can like max it to 8, but god dang, bro, kind of that's kind of dick. I didn't think I didn't. Whoa, what? What? I didn't think non-nanos had esoteric attack. I guess Jax. Jack of all trades. I guess they can. That's so weird, bro. Oh, bro. I guess they'll be decent, especially if you have some esoteric stuff. But I guess fuck it. I guess Makina. I guess we'll make Makina a killer, man. Um, she's got 100% evasion with that nasty shield, and if we give her the upgraded trans-dimensional scalpel, since she's really the only one that could effectively wield the upgraded trans-dimensional scalpel. She's really the only one because it requires very significant investment in speed. Oh shit! I thought she had 2 edge on speed. She doesn't. All right, but still, she does have 12 speed with 1 edge. So, what does Tiberius have? I got a man. What your man got to do with G's? I got a man, but man, he ain't been fucking me. I got a man. What your man got to do with G's? I got a man, but your man ain't been fucking me. I mean, actually, Tiberius might be okay with that. Because listen, let's hold up. He does have 2 edge. He's only got 9 speed, but he does have 2 edge. Which edge in the long run is better? Now, if we could get another upgrade on Tiberius, get his speed to 11, even though I know it is better to get it at even numbers, but what can you do? Then 11 with 2 is better than what Matt King has got. But for now, I think we will just. For now, I think we'll use 19. It's a tough choice. Would you go with 9 speed and 2 edge? What would you rather have? 9 speed and 2 edge, 12, or 12 speed and 1 edge? I'd probably rather have 12 speed and 1 edge. It's a tough choice. You're trading 3 speed for 1 edge. That's like very tough. I would say 2 speed for 1 edge. I would take the edge for sure. 3 speed for 1 edge, I think, is very close. And then 4 speed for 1 edge, of course, I'll take the 4 speed. It's a shame because this combat had potential. This combat had way more potential than people like to think. People trash the combat, and I think mostly the problem with the combat is in the execution. Because they. One good thing that they did with this combat is they certainly added a lot of skills. Like, the one good thing I think with the combat is they have, and some people might think it's a bad thing, but they have so many interesting skills. Like, they have many, many interesting skills up through tier 4. And, like, each tier of skills are way different. And you can basically build your character how you want, because you can pick skills that enhance their exploration abilities and like social skills, or you can pick upgrades that increase their like straight damage with weapons, or you can pick upgrades that increase their magic or whatever. But it's like they actually did a pretty good job of having a lot of skills. With all of the skills that they have in this game, it almost makes me wonder if they meant for the combat to be much more than it actually turned out to be. Because it's almost like there's more skills in the game than are even like needed at all. And it's like almost too easy to have this many skills, but there actually are a lot of really cool skills. Like, there's a good combat system within this system somewhere. There really is. I actually think the pool-based system is very, very cool. I think the pool-based combat system is very cool. I don't even know of any other games that do that. Maybe Planescape does it. It's cool because, especially with the edge, like, it adds to like the strategy of what you want to use and also what you want to upgrade, and also of like, you want to put everything into an attack now, but it's gonna like essentially like reduce your ammo for later. Um, or if you get lucky and you get a critical hit, or if you have a critical hit build, you'll be able to replenish your quote unquote ammo. That's in your skill, your whatever points, your ability points like speed and intellect. Um, man, it's got the bones of an interesting combat system. It really does. It just seems like half cooked. It really seems half cooked. Like, I think there's a lot of super interesting skills, and I love the idea of a pool based system. And they have like at least like the beginning stages of an idea of like different armors and stuff like that. I think I think they might have had ambitious plans for the combat, but perhaps they didn't want to change it too much. I don't know. And it came out like this. It's such an odd thing. Like, there's so many skills, and like, a lot of them are pretty useless, but some of them are pretty cool and pretty good. And it's like, I like the idea of like regular attacks and weapon attacks, and then the esoteric attacks, which are basically like spells, um, and then adding like ornaments and stuff that will provide you passive abilities. Um, and then in the combat system, obviously, as well, the ability to, like, on occasion, start a dialogue with your enemy, either before or in, or I don't think it would be after, but before and after. I think it's very cool that you could, like, talk to your, you can, like, have combat, be in the middle of combat, and then talk to one of your enemies and potentially resolve the situation by talking to them. I think that was taken from Planescape Torment, but it is very cool. Um, so while people do destroy the combat in this game, and it definitely does deserve praises, the combat in this game, for sure. Many different issues about it, but I kind of, I kind of don't think it's as bad as people say, and such a small part of the game. And if it's like a big part of your game, you're kind of playing the game. I don't want to say wrong, but I would think not quite the way it was mostly intended to be played. But also, like, I think there was a good combat system in here, but I don't know if it was because they wanted to try to stay faithful, or if it was, um, yeah, I don't know if they're trying to stay faithful like Planescape, or if they just didn't have enough time or what, but it feels like with all of the skills and the tiered system and the options that you do have, it feels like the combat system meant to be much more grandiose. It feels like the combat system is meant to be bigger and more involved, because there really are a lot of skills. And it seems like some skills that do synergize well with other things. It's just half baked. And like there's a good combat system in there, but it just was not fully conceived, and I have no idea why. I really don't understand it. Like, they could have just done this exact same combat system with 1/10 of the skills, and it would have been probably just the same, basically. But they put so many cool skills. It is I don't know if they were like trying to fill a quota or something for the Kickstarter, but I don't know. It just doesn't. It just doesn't really make sense. So it's a shame because like I played the last two games. Literally, I played the last two games that this developer in Exile made. Wasteland 3 and Out of Order. The Bard's Tale 4. Pharaoh's Deep, but like enhanced or something edition. Or complete edition or some shit like that. But both Bard's Tale 4 and Wasteland 3 had solid combat, which is the odd thing. Like, it's strange because In Exile is not a bad combat developer. And to my knowledge, none of In Exile's games had great and spectacular combat, but most of them had very solid, competent combat. Like at first I thought Wasteland 3 after I played Wasteland 3 after playing Miasma Chronicles, I think, and XCOM 2, I think, and Phoenix Point. And coming from those games, which have great combat, those games, I think Miasma Chronicles has really underrated combat. On the hard alpha editor difficulty in free full tactical alpha editor difficulty in full tactical mode on Miasma Chronicles is such a freaking enjoyable challenge. Iron Man mode. It's the hardest difficulty in Iron Man mode with full tactical like make is an extra thing that makes it even harder because it makes like it gives you realistic hit chances. Like if you have a 95% hit chance, you will miss every once in a while. Like, whereas some games, you have a 95%, you'll like never miss. Um, actually, what it does is it makes things more sporadic. Full tactical, it makes it like almost more realistic. Whereas like it makes the variables more random. But if you beat Miasma Chronicles on alpha editor difficulty without save scumming, because alpha editor difficulty is the hardest difficulty, and it also has Iron Man included in it. So there is no manual save. There's no save at all. It's the only save there is the game auto saves. You have no control over it. Um, so if you fuck up or die in a combat encounter or you know in some silly way to environmental hazards or whatever, that's your playthrough's done. It will auto save over the last auto save. Um, you have no control over it. So the only way you could maybe control it is like if you die, if you take a shot that killed or like is killing you or about to kill you, then like maybe shut off your system I don't know. Or you could make hard. You could probably make hard saves to the cloud if you're playing on PlayStation. On PC, it's probably easy to do, but on PlayStation, it's harder. But on PlayStation, you could probably make hard saves to the cloud, and then turn your cloud saves off. So it'll have that. It'll have that hard auto save to the cloud, and then turn off cloud saves, so it's no longer saving, and it'll keep that save, I guess. Um, so I guess that is a way you could save scum it, but I didn't have to do that. I actually did do that, but I never had to use it. I had legitimately never had to use it. I did do that just in case, so I didn't lose my progress, just in case I died in some stupid way. When I would get to important or integral like parts of the game, or like milestone parts of the game, I would turn the cloud autosave off. So just in case I died, it wouldn't autosave over me down. You know, it wouldn't autosave over my last save. Well, there is no last save, but it wouldn't just update it and autosave that I died, and then I have to start over. So I I prepared myself to like, I guess, save scum or whatever you would call it, and then at important areas in the game, I would turn the autosave off just in case I died. But I never did. I never actually had to use it. Never. And in particular, there was one circumstance where I thought I would have to use it. I was at in Miasma Chronicles. I was at that office building. There was an office building where you are going there to find like, it's basically a side mission. There's like some girl that says she saw like some kind of loot in like a high rise like office building off the beaten path. And you talk to her, and she tells you where it is. You agree to go get it and split it with her. And it's like, like three, three, 3 story, 4 story, or like 4 story. Previously like 20 story, but like 4 story at that point office building, and it even has like the men's and women's bathroom and like the coffee lounge and computers and stuff like that. And there's like good loot there, but on an alpha editor, I went into the area playing nonchalant because I was actually doing pretty well. I went into that area pretty nonchalant, and I remember just dominating the area the first time I played the game. So I went into it just not taking it seriously. And I remember the reason I dominated it last time I played the game was because I was over leveled by the time I did that quest. This time I was actually, I think, under leveled, or like a little bit under leveled. And I didn't yet have like really good stuff and a really good build. And I went into this level, this area, and I got my freaking ass kicked, and I had bad luck. I was getting my ass kicked, and I had freaking bad luck, really bad luck. And my companions died Actually, the thing was, I had one companion left. It was the girl, the sniper, and she was down, but I was still able to like give her health to have her come back. But she was stuck. It was like a bug, and she was like halfway stuck in like a wall. So it was not in the office building. It was outside the office building on the street, and this was like down the street to the left, like, all the way to the left down, and she got like stuck in the wall, like the concrete like wall, I guess you would call it. And I went to throw a health grenade at her. I threw the health grenade, which obviously took like my AP, my action points to do. And the health grenade like got used, but it didn't actually like proc on her. So it didn't. I guess her being stuck in the wall made it like somehow not work on her. And like the next turn, I tried to heal her again, and basically it just wasted like two turns and like two health grenades, I think, or health things. And she bled out and fucking died, which was a twofold problem. Yes, she will come back after the encounter, but the problem is I needed her to help in the fight. At this point, there was like maybe six enemies left or something, and 4 to 6 enemies left. Just me, and they were very strong enemies, and I had very little health and like ability, and I just wasted like two turns essentially, and like two fucking health items trying to get her to not bleed out. And the fucking glitch made me have to like completely regroup. And it was so hard. I literally, since it auto saves after everything, right after I tried, right after she bled out, because it wouldn't proc the like healing grenade. Right after she bled out, it saves. Like I can't even go back. And I'm just at this section where it's like I'm thinking, literally thinking of like anything I can do. I was literally contemplating just restarting it, to start the whole thing from scratch, or just saying like, "Fuck it, I can't do it. I'm not gonna be able to get the alpha editor full tactical trophy because I literally calculated every potential move I could do, like chess. I calculated every potential move I could make, and then I calculated every potential move after that potential move that the other guys could make and that I could make. And if I did this thing to increase my chance of getting a critical, if I got that critical, like with the shotgun, for example, I was able to like target 2 or 3 enemies at once. Like, what were the percentage chances that I would hit the critical, and then like what were the percentage chances that I would get another critical? Because there's like a thing where with the shotgun, the more characters you have in your scope, like the higher crit percentage chances, and then if you get one crit or something, you have like a higher chance to get another one. It's like some shit like that. So I was calculating every single move that I could make, and it was almost impossible, according to the math, that I would be able to actually survive it. And it was all very, very dependent on like making the absolute best possible moves and having a little bit of luck that they were gonna have to miss a shot at point blank range, pretty much. Like I was gonna have to get the crit and like the second crit or whatever, and then by doing that, it was gonna leave me in like an extremely vulnerable spot. But I think I was in I think I was like on the side of a car, like right next to them. But technically, I did have partial cover, I think, because I was actually behind the car, something like that. So I did add like 15% cover, or like something like that. And it was like if everything worked out properly, if everything hit properly, I wouldn't have won, but it would have given me a chance. If everything hit properly, it would have given me a chance with like a tiny bit of health, a little bit of ammo, and like, and then like, I think two enemies would be left, which I would still have to be able to kill them, but I would have at least had a chance because I was in this like almost impossible, like basically cornered. So I basically had to like kill these two enemies just to get out of the corner to give myself a chance. And even then, I would have had to somehow kill the other two or three or four enemies. And I was literally thinking about just quitting. Because it was like once I actually took the shot, I couldn't go back. So it was like whatever happened, happened. I was like, probably at least 12 hours into the game. And I got the fucking critical, and then I got the second critical, and then it was time for the guy to shoot at me. And like he didn't miss, but I don't know, he like partially missed or something. It did like glancing damage, I think. And I had like one health point or two health points, or like three. Like I had like a tiny sliver of health left. It somehow miraculously did not kill me. And then I had enough AP points to like get behind the actual real cover, and I was able to draw out one of the guys, kill him, and then it was literally just me and one guy left. And then when it was me and just one guy, that obviously evened the odds to make it very good, but I think it was like if I had gotten shot one more time, I would have died. Maybe it was two. I think it was just one. Like if I got shot one time, so I had to play extremely careful. And I was able to, and what I did, yeah, that's exactly what I did. I had like really good speed, so I could run very far. So when it was me and one guy left, I just ran from him as far as I could get. I just ran as far as I could get from him, and had him chase me. And then I just waited till he made a stupid mistake. I just waited till he like made a stupid mistake to where he was in a vulnerable spot to where I could like literally just run up right behind him, point blank, with a shotgun, and just have like a 95% hit chance or something, like a 90. It was like a 90% hit chance of like a point blank hit chance to critical and kill him. And I remember thinking, like, if this 90% hit chance misses, this will have been this miraculous comeback would have been all from that. And it didn't miss. And I miraculously killed him, defeated that, got through that scenario. And then that was the only time in the game on Alpha Editor Full Tactical that I struggled to the point where it was like very close if I was going to die. There was no other point in the game where it even became close that I was going to die. I pretty much dominated the rest of the game, but that one point in the game, and it only really happened because I got cocky and arrogant because I was doing well. I just I already played that area. I didn't think it was that hard, and then everything went wrong. Where my teammates died and got stuck in the wall. It was like suddenly then it was me and like six guys and I'm cornered. So it's like it went to shit very, very quickly. And that's the problem in games like that. When you let your guard down a little bit, you can get fucked. Like when you're playing on the hardest, ultra hard difficulty, especially Iron Man, you have to make every move count. If you just like dog it for a little bit because it's easy, you could potentially get fucking blasted. I doubt anyone's listening or will hear this on replay, but that was literally one of my favorite gaming moments of all time. Was overcoming that Miasma Chronicles Alpha Editor Full Tactical scenario where I was cocky and did fuck up, but the game also fucked me. The game also fucked me by having, what's her name? I forget, Chloe or whatever the fuck that snipe, the one-eyed, like, kind of young, sort of cute sniper girl. Not Chloe, I forget her name, but the game fucked me because it got her stuck in like the wall, and she like bled out like in the wall, and I could not heal her. So like I wasn't just I did bad in the encounter at first because I was playing like an asshole, playing like nonchalant. But then once I got serious about it, she got stuck on the wall and like totally screwed me, which was not my fault. But that was literally one of the most proud gaming moments ever. Like, it was such a dope moment. And the problem is, I wasn't, I wasn't able to save fucking replay of it because I had waited so freaking long to actually make the move. And in between moves, because I was calculating everything, that I wasn't able to save like a full like recording of it because I think I even like went to sleep and then between a move, and so yeah, I wasn't able to record that, and then like made a move, and then was like thinking about it for probably like an hour. I was like, I wasn't able to like just record the whole fight. If it was all in the same day, I could have recorded it probably and then like on Share Factory cut it up, which would have been cool, but it wasn't. So I wasn't able to save the whole fucking thing. But that was literally one of the coolest moments in my gaming history, by far. One of the coolest and most proud moments. Like, it was so dope. It was such a cool thing, like seeing that I overcame that and the odds and how everything actually worked well. Everything hit the way it was supposed to, and that I had calculated every single move that had to hit in order to give myself a chance, and every single move and reaction from them that I calculated happened like pretty much exactly the way I thought it would, or the way I was hoping that it would. And it was one of those rare scenarios in gaming where it was like I probably had like a 1% chance to survive, and everything that I calculated needed to happen actually happened, and it saved my Iron Man run like a dozen hours into the fucking game. And if that never happened, I probably would have never platinumed it because I'm not sure if I would have gone back and started it over again. And it's actually probably one of my top 10 most proud platinums that I have. Like, it's a 0.3% platinum. I have 0.1%. The lowest there's no 0% that I see. Unless the game just recently comes out. But the platinum trophy, actually, the platinum trophy is 0.3%, but that trophy in particular is 0.3% as well. Beating it on Alpha Editor in full technical is a 0.3% trophy. So less than a third of 1% of people do that. And then the platinum is 0.3%. So that trophy right there is what holds people back from platinum in the game. Basically, getting that trophy is like the same percentage of people getting the platinum. It is actually very hard. Very, very hard. You have to like really know what you're doing. Then you want to play Near Zero, which I have not played yet. I don't own it either. Which that game always appealed to me. I really enjoyed Miasma Chronicles, and platinuming it was one of my greatest achievements in gaming, I think. Just because the Alpha Editor is so hard. And knowing I was able to do it without actually having to save scum. I set it up to save scum, but I never actually had to do it. Like, that platinum trophy for Miasma Chronicles is up there with, like, Bloodborne and Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon was a tough one. I think they made it easier since, but Enter the Gungeon was a pretty tough, like, very tough platinum. I'm extremely proud of that platinum. And then I have some other 0.1%. But those are some of my more proud platinums. Enter the Gungeon, Osmo Chronicles, Bloodborne. There's more. Oh, Sackboy's up there. Sackboy ain't no joke. Sackboy was one of the hardest platinums that I had to get because of the final challenge level. It was like one consistent 10-minute run. It was, but you had to beat it in like I think 10 minutes or less, which was extremely hard to do. Extremely hard. And it was one consistent run, like going full speed for at least 10 minutes, not making one mistake. That was one of the hardest trophies I've had to get as far as difficulty trophies. Getting that Sackboy trophy was fucking hard. I forget what it was called. It was like, I don't know, it was like the ultimate challenge or something like that. It was ridiculous. Where like Astrobot seems to have like 2 minute, 3 minute little like hard platforming challenge levels, but this one was like 10 minutes. Realistically, it was like 12 minutes, a 12-minute non-stop level, but you had to beat it in like 10. But I mean, realistically, like going fast, it was like 12 minutes. So you had to go super duper fast. Figure out ways to like shortcut and like that Sackboy. Oof, that Sackboy platinum was tough. And you would not expect Sackboy to be a hard platinum. It does not sound like it's a hard game at all. And it's funny because it's such a cutesy Little Big Planet type game. But, and the trophies are easy in it, and the game is easy, except one trophy. Except that one challenge level trophy. That one challenge level trophy is freaking brutal. Totally brutal. But look, I probably tried it like 50 times literally. Probably like at least 4 or 5 hours. Trying 6 hours maybe. That was such a hard fucking trophy. That was harder to get than Bloodborne, I think. Those are some of the platinums I like the most. Yeah, it's my Chronicles, Enter the Gungeon, Bloodborne, plus the Old Hunters 100%, Sackboy. Um, I consider Returnal that I platinumed it, but it had a glitch where some of the trophies didn't pop, but I consider Returnal being a platinum. Like, I would have platinumed it had the trophies popped properly, which really pisses me off. But I do have some pretty nice platinums. And the reason why I platinum Bloodborne, as opposed to Dark Souls or whatever, I like Bloodborne better. I don't like the platinum games that I don't love. Lovecraft inspired setting in Bloodborne was awesome. I thought the combat was better than in Dark Souls. Quicker, the trick weapons, getting wrecked. Alright, strength machine look that. I'm gonna try to play fast. I really want to get through this game. Miasma Chronicles is, I think it's an underrated game. I really truly don't understand why Miasma Chronicles wasn't more highly regarded by critics and fans. Like, it's a solid 8 out of 10 game, in my opinion. Like, I think Miasma Chronicles deserves an 80 Metacritic. I really do. I think it deserves an 80. It's like a 73 or 74. I think it deserved about an 80. I think it was very good. It was a very good game. Miasma Chronicles had great combat. The turn-based combat was really exceptional, especially in the hard difficulties. Really strategic and really good. It actually had very nice visuals for a um, I guess it's a CRPG, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it's a tactical RPG. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, like, to consider. I guess it's more of a tactical RPG. I never thought about I never thought about calling Miasma Chronicles a CRPG. I always thought of it as a tactical RPG, just because it was made by some of the some of the XCOM developers. But come to think of it, like, I think I think Miasma Chronicles might be a CRPG. I don't know. Like, it's not the type of game where you just are in a hub and then you launch into missions and that's it. There's a there's a whole huge interconnected world, and you do missions by like exploring and like going to different areas. Like, I always considered it a TRPG because it was an XCOM like, but I don't even know if that's true. I guess it I guess it's considered a tactical RPG. But I'm trying to think like why, and I think all the lists I've seen it's been considered a tactical RPG. Like, more Chismal, more put it on his CRPG list. But what the fuck makes what the fuck makes Miasma Chronicles not a CRPG? The only thing I could really think is that it doesn't have like a ton of choice and consequence. Maybe it doesn't have enough RPG elements, but it does have RPG elements. Like, but not enough, I guess. It does have some choice, like not really. Like it has a little tiny bit of like choice. It does have a tiny bit, but that's a tough one. I think that one's a little more gray than people think. There's a tough one. Like, for example, a tactical RPG is definitely Chaos Gate, but Warhammer 40k, Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, that's most definitely not a CRPG, but a tactical RPG, for sure. Like, essentially, you just launch your missions from a hub and, like, not a one interconnected world or open world. It's nothing like that. That there's not really exploration and stuff like that. But, like you go to different planets, but it's essentially you're just launching them from your ship, just like in XCOM. You launch the missions from your ship in XCOM 2, or like from your base. Um, those are absolutely not CRPG. But I never really thought about it. Like, they played me as one like years ago, like or 2 years ago. But yeah, that's an interesting question. And the line between tactical RPG and CRPG is thin. It's a thin line. Like, what makes the CRPG different from a TRPG? Like, the fact that it has more role playing elements, the fact that it's um, I don't know, less tactical, the fact that CRPGs is like more story, typically, more choice, consequence, more RPG elements. Like, is that the difference? And usually more of an open or interconnected world with exploration. Whereas TRPGs typically are either more linear or you just launch your missions from a hub instead of like finding them organically in the world. They have less like RPG elements, less branching dialogue, less choice and consequence, um, less story focus. I don't know. I would assume that those are the differences, but to actually define like why um, why CRPGs are different from TRPGs is tough. It's a tough distinction. Like clear Demon Hunters, Cascade Demon Hunters, Warhammer 40,000. Clearly, it's a tactical RPG, TRPG. Clearly, clearly, clearly. Wow. Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, another, you know, similar strategic Warhammer game, is clearly a CRPG. Clearly. Clearly, clearly, clearly. Now, on paper, it's like what differentiates these two? I guess it would be that Rogue Trader has more RPG elements, more dialogue, more branching dialogue, more choice, um, more, more of like more exploration on the maps and more areas of exploration and more larger interconnected areas that you can walk around and explore. More NPCs that you can talk to, RPG elements. I guess that's like, is that the difference that CRPGs have more RPG elements, um, more story, more characters? I guess CRPGs are more. I guess it would be that CRPGs are more narrative and RPG focused, and TRPGs are more combat and strategy focused. Whereas CRPGs, imagine this is what the difference. Whereas CRPGs typically will have branching dialogue paths and choices, and typically larger open or interconnected worlds or areas with more exploration and NPCs, whereas tactical RPGs typically the world's not as the maps in the world aren't as large and interconnected. There's not as much exploration. There's not as many NPCs. There's not any or as much choice or branching dialogue. And just less of the gameplay in TRPGs is focused on role-playing aspects. And most of it is based on strategy. That's what I imagine the differences would be defined as. That's what I would assume. But it makes it a sticky and tricky point of contention because it's like, whereas Chaos Gate Demon Hunters is clearly a tactical RPG. Why isn't Neon Chronicles um, considered a CRPG? Why is Miasma Chronicles considered a tactical RPG? To me, that's a tough one. That one's a tough one. But it does have NPCs. I think it's a CRPG, honestly. I actually think it's a CRPG. It's got NPCs, it's got a large connected world. It does have some choice, I think, in merging dialogue. Not a lot, but some RPG elements. Has a strong narrative focus and a strong strategic focus, but I don't know, man. I think Miasma Chronicles is a CRPG, even though it's not considered one. It's an interesting question. Whereas I think Phoenix Point is a tactical RPG. Crazy. Yeah, I had always considered Miasma Chronicles a tactical RPG. Platinum did. But thinking about it now, like, it is very close to a CRPG. That game had a very solid narrative hook, had a good story. It wasn't like a great story, but it had a good, solid story. I thought the story was pretty underrated in Miasma Chronicles. Like, it was more than serviceable. Like, it was a way better story than, like, what was in XCOM 2. Like, way better. Like, it was a solid, serviceable, good story. I thought. Nothing amazing, but I thought it was good. That is a crazy thing. You could really debate that being a CRPG. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot of games you could debate. I never thought of it. Man, what a goober head. And like King Arthur, Knight's Tale, it does appear to be a tactical RPG. It appears to borrow a lot from XCOM. I think like the more like XCOM the game is, the more it's a tactical RPG. But it recognizes this and it tries to, from what I can see, it does try to add more RPG, more CRPG elements to it. My guess is that it's probably not enough to put it in the CRPG category. I don't really know what Steam considers that. I haven't looked, but Steam may very well consider it a tactical RPG. Um, yeah, I would assume that Steam calls it a tactical RPG. But with King Arthur, it's like it seems like they deliberately try to broaden the game and the genre and put more RPG elements in it. Like there's branching dialogue, right? There's There's a morality system. There's branching dialogue. There's companion loyalty bonuses and loyalty, and your companions can agree with you and become more loyal and get bonuses, like 20% in combat, I think. Or they can disagree with you, have no bonuses or possibly negative, I'm not sure. But they can also leave your party if they disagree with what you're doing, which is really it's an RPG and CRPG staple of having companion characters that can leave your party if they disagree with your actions. That's not something I have ever really typically seen in tactical RPGs. Companion characters that have their own morality system that is based off what you do. I've never really seen a tactical RPG have companions that have certain morality and leave your party because of it. And it seems to have branching dialogue choices. So it seems like they did. Seems like they did try to put more RPG elements into the game, but I still think, from what it looks like, that King Arthur Next Tale is still probably a tactical RPG, but it seems like a more liberal tactical RPG. Like King Arthur Knight's Tale does seem like a tactical RPG that does attempt to there's your name, last. But it seems like King Arthur does attempt to have more depth and RPG experience in it than the typical tactical RPG. Now, these elements might be very basic and surface level as far as the morality system, the companion's morality system, and the branching dialogue and the choice and consequence. It might be very surface level and very thin, but the fact is, it's still there. Like, they still have it there. So I still really like the fact that they have that option, that they have it there. That's one of the things that appeals me to King Arthur, besides the fact that I love Arthurian legends, even though I know that it's not going to probably be a great RPG in terms of story and companion personalities and choice and consequence. But the fact that it at least has even a thin layer of that RPG stuff makes it more appealing. Because I would have played it anyway if it was just a copycat of XCOM, and which it pretty much is. But if it had less focus on story, no companion or character morality, and no branching dialogue, I'd still probably play it anyway. But even if it is very surface level in those elements, the fact that it at least has those makes it more appealing to me, I think. I like I like that. I like that because I love Arthurian lore, and it's like any extra amount, any extra pinch of Arthurian story, character lore, dialogue, any extra amount I will take. I would really love to play like a very high production value, very well made, rich, deep, um, King Arthur, Arthurian lore inspired RPG. Like I'd really love to play an RPG that felt like the John Borman Excalibur movie. That is a recent dream game of mine. It's not something I had ever really thought about until I started to really be interested in getting uh, Knight's Tale. But now that I think about it, that is a dream game for me. Like either a like prime BioWare Mass Effect or Dragon Age Origins, Mass Effect 1 or Mass Effect 2. I'll say Mass Effect 1. Yeah, like a Mass Effect 1, a BioWare Mass Effect 1 or Dragon Age Origins, or even Dragon Age Inquisition. Style, quality, RPG that is set to the John Borman Excalibur movie and lore. That specifically uses the John Borman Excalibur film as their template, or at the very least, as their inspiration. Like, I wouldn't even mind if they directly used the film and if the game was actually called Excalibur and they literally got the rights to the John Borman movie. I would love that, but I don't think they would do that because while John Borman's 1981, I think, Excalibur movie is an absolute cult classic legend, and there are just uh, hundreds of thousands of people that absolutely love that movie and adore it. I don't think it was met with like universal um, critical and public praise. I don't think like I don't think it was a critical hit or even necessarily a commercial hit. I think it was more of a film that became a massive cult classic and influence to other films and mediums. But I don't think at the time when I wasn't alive, but at the time when it released in 1981, I don't think that it was like a massive critical and commercial darling. I think it was a very divisive film. Um, so I don't think that they would like use the actual film license and like call it Excalibur or like John Borman's Excalibur. That'd be so awesome. I don't even know if he's alive. I don't know if they would do that, but at the very least, I would love an Arthurian legend game that, at the very least, uses the John Borman film, 1981 John Borman film Excalibur, as its primary inspiration. At least use it as inspiration. Like, that film was like a very long, most people would say too long. It was a very long epic. It was a very long epic, and it was, at least for the time, a relatively dark and twisted telling of the King Arthur lore. It was very dramatic, very overacted, very dark and twisted and artful and almost like a play at times. But it was so atmospheric, and even though a lot of the performances were over the top, it was like everything about that movie was at least done with passion. I thought it was such a cool fucking movie as a kid, though. It was probably too overacted, and too dramatic, too busy. There were way too many things going on, I guess, like with the Holy Grail and all of these things, and all the relationships between characters. But like, I thought it was awesome, and obviously, if they did a game inspired by it, they wouldn't base everything off of it. But I would love it to have like similar story following similar similar premise of the movie. Um, Similar, very dramatic, dark themes, dark kind of twisted, um, over the top atmosphere. Very like magic based and fantastical and dramatic. I would love a fucking game based on that movie. Yes, I would love it. Or that took the movie as inspiration. That would be so fucking awesome. Man, I would love it. Like a fucking full on like Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Inquisition, Mass Effect 1 style RPG. Or or if that's too big and too much, then like, a full on like high budget CRPG based primarily on the Excalibur movie, or at least using that as a template. And if it was done as a CRPG, I wouldn't obviously want it to be a TRPG. I'd want it to be a CRPG, but it really focuses on narrative and dialogue and relationships and choice. Because that's what the movie was about. I think that would be so freaking rad. I don't even know of any like high quality King Arthur CRPG. Like high quality. Man, I think there's such awesome lore and legend in the King Arthur lore for a game. There's so much awesome stuff, particularly in like Excalibur, that could lead to such a dramatic, atmospheric game. It lead to such a badass atmospheric game. Or like the Expedition 30, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 developers, um, what's left of BioWare. But that's the thing, I say like Dragon Age Origins type game, Mass Effect 1, or even Inquisition, but the BioWare is not the same developer anymore that made that. So, like, BioWare could pull that together, or like Expedition 33 developer, or if there was like a project that was like a multi-studio um, project, uh, where you have like the manpower of like what's left of BioWare, like the talent that made Expedition 33, like a joint project, or just like a really high quality CRPG. Like if like, and I would want if there was gonna be a King Arthur high quality CRPG, like based on the Excalibur movie, I wouldn't want it to be like budget, like low double A, where it's just like all text and like no cutscene. Like I'd want it to be big, grandiose, big, broad, massive, with cutscenes and music and all voice acting, over the top voice acting, all of that. Like I would want it to be like a Larian Studios game. Like if there was going to be a high budget Excalibur CRPG. I would want it to be like Baldur's Gate 3. If it was gonna be a CRPG, I would absolutely want it to be like Baldur's Gate 3. I would want Larian Studios to do it. I'd want it to be just like Baldur's Gate 3, where it's super high production value, AAA budget, which Baldur's Gate 3 was a CRPG, one of the very few CRPGs with an absolute big time AAA budget. I don't know how much that game cost to make, but had to have been like, I would say 1 to 200 million. Like that had to have been a big time AAA budget. And it's actually kind of cool seeing what a CRPG could look like with a real AAA budget, because so many of these games are built on a shoestring. You know, so many of these games are built for way under 10 million. So many of these games are built for under 5 million. So many of these games are built for less than 3. Like this game had a what 2.5 million, 2 million Kickstarter, something like that. Sounds like a lot, but there are AAA games with $400 million budgets. Literally. What's $3 million compared to that? I would love to see Larian make a fucking Excalibur game in the mold of, in the budget of Baldur's Gate 3. That would be so fucking dope. That would be so awesome. Or like I said, the corpse of BioWare with like talent from the dev of like Expedition 33 or something, and make a AAA RPG a la Dragon Age Origins or Mass Effect 1. That would be such a dream. That'd be so awesome. I'm surprised that that classic fantasy has barely been explored in modern games. Like Homer's The Odyssey and King Arthur and stuff like that. Like King Arthur is actually a badass fucking story. The King Arthur lore actually has some really dope fucking stuff in it. And characters. Like Balin, his story is rad. And like Sir Ector, Sir Kay. Balin is the knight known for having 2 swords. I think he's the one that was tricked by a damsel. She gave him a cursed sword, I think. I don't know if it was, I think it was him. Something. And then he killed his brother, or maybe that was somebody else. But there's some really dope ass fucking stories in the Arthur lore. I would love to see if I can. High budget game. Like all of this independent fantasy is cool. These worlds that they make. All of this D&D based stuff is really cool, but it's all like made up. I'd love to see some like classic shit like King Arthur. Like King Arthur is fucking classic. Everybody knows King Arthur. Everybody knows the Sword and the Stone, and Merlin, and Lancelot. Everybody knows at least that. Knights of the Round Table. Everybody knows it. It'd be so fly. Everybody's heard of Camelot. I love it. That'd be so rad. The Order 1886 very loosely played with the Arthurian lore, but extremely loosely. But it was still cool. Like, that was still a cool aspect. Like, they were all descendants of Knights of the Round Table. That's what I learned about Suriel. Guinevere. Sir Ector. And Lady Dindrain. Yeah. I think Dindrain was in that. Right? Sir Master. Master Fish. I think Master Fish was in that. I hated Master Fish. It was good. Master Fish, that like reading tool. You know, that children's tool from the shop. Reading with colors. That electronic tabletized master game. I think it was on the entire chord master system. Yeah, entire chord master system. Is that Master Frog? Master Frog, you know. Master Frog, I'm teaching colors. Master Frog, I'm teaching colors. It's blue, it's green. What do you mean? Alright. I'm singing along 'cause I'm the frog. Alright, Master Frog. That shit used to piss me off when I was a kid. That's so aggregated. because the tablet wouldn't work right. I would press the correct button, and but it was like it didn't register correctly. Say Master Frog would say, "No, no, wrong, wrong. Try again. Wrong, 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 wrong. Try again. Why don't you ask your parents for help?" And I was like, "Fuck you, Frog! Fuck you, Frog! I know it's right." I got so perturbed. That kind of was the big thing that started my hatred for frogs. That's what began it all. That's why I started to absolutely hate frogs with a passion. I was passionate about my hatred for frogs. You could see it on my face. I wore my hatred for frogs on my sleeve, and everybody could see it. Like it was obvious. I would walk down the street as a 7-year old, and you could see through my demeanor, expressions, that I hated frogs. It was obvious. And it was all because of Master Frog and a broken tablet. No parent should subject their kid to the horror of Master Frog. He's a demon, I tell you. A demon without a soul in a frog's body. He promised a treasure trove of toys upon completion of the exercise, which he failed to deliver numerous times. Master Frog was a demon. So this is my advice. Don't trust the frog. Never trust the frog. Don't trust me. But frog friends, with the frogs underneath, you got the taste of a frog legs right on your teeth. Frog friends, froggy frog on the frog. What? Cause I'm a froginarian, but I ain't fucking scared of frogs. She wants to frog me, whoa. She'll never frog me, whoa. She wants to dog me, whoa. Whoa. Don't trust the frog. Never trust the frog. Don't trust the frog. Don't trust dogs. Woof, 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 woofy. With the gribbit underneath. You got the gribbit of a frog. Yeah, right on the beach. Frog friends. With the frog underneath. Well, I'm a froginarian, but I ain't fucking scared of cats. Frogs always stuck to your teeth. Telling me about the frog legs right on your beach. I'll tell my frog friends that in case they've got beef. Well, I'm a froginarian, but I ain't fucking scared of them frogs. I remember the frog from the Bill Cosby secret spy movie. You know? Frogs. Frogs. Always stuck to my dog. Froggies like to wiggle and they growl like a dog. So tell your frog friends that in case they've got dogs, well, dogs, they don't even like big frogs. And big frogs, they don't like small dogs. They want to frog me, whoa. They'll never dog me, whoa. They want to frog me, whoa, whoa. Don't trust big frogs. Never trust small dogs. Don't trust big frogs. Can't frog me. Frog friends with the frog underneath. You can see him for a lily pad or a leaf. Frogness with the frog underneath. What? Cause I ain't fucking scared of frog. Wait, I ain't fucking scared of them frogs. She wants to dog me, whoa. She'll never frog me, whoa. She wants to dog me, whoa, whoa. Don't trust Big Frog. Never trust Big Frog. Don't trust Big Frog. Can't dog me. Frogness with the frog underneath. You can see the lily pad, it looks like a leaf. Frog friends always sit on the leaf. They like freaking lily pads, and I know that makes Lily mad. They want a frog pad, oh, they have a frog dad, whoa. They don't like their frog dad, whoa, whoa. Gives them chocolate cake, gives them chocolate cake, that's why dad is great. Gives them chocolate cake. Frog, frogs. 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 Always stuck to your feet, mashing up and down. You squish them. Oh, you squish their meat between your shoes. Yeah, you smush them all up and down. Running in the frog pond. Yeah, it makes them frown. Dead frogs. Always stuck to your shoes. Man, these frogs are sticky. Man, their guts feel like goo when you crush them, and they might even poo. Coming out of both and smushing frogs like you're new. Frog smush. Frogs will smush, yeah, it is gross. When frogs they smushing without shoes, it gets in between all your toes. You got them frog guts smushing right on your feet. You can smell the frog guts and your feet feel the meat of frog guts. Yeah, frog intestines too. You can see these froggies, man, they sticking like glue. For dead frogs, always stuck to your skin. You know that these frogs are weird, but man, they have real thin skin. They burst so easy. They're just like a gusher. Like gushers, yeah, the gummy candy man. Oh man, sir, I think these frogs then they explode on first contact. I don't even wanna try to put them together, get them back into to one piece. So I glued all the guts. I tried to stuff their insides right back through their butt. It didn't work, man. I didn't know what to do. So all I did was stuff it in. I used more glue for frogs. I create Frankenstein frog. He did not come back to life, so I shocked him one more time, and then the frog, man, he was a Frankenstein frog. Then I left him on the kitchen counter. He got ate by my dog. My dog, yeah. My dog ate the frog. Ate the Frankenstein frog. I was mad at my dog. I said, bad dog. And he growled at my friends. And then my dog puked, and that was just like the end of the frog guts. Yeah, the frog, he was done. Frankenstein frog didn't last long, but it was fun. Frog. Now that frog, yeah, he's dead. All the other froggies saw it, all of his friends, and then the frogs, yeah, they were mad at me too. So what did they do? They jumped in my bed and started to poo, and I didn't know this. So when I went to sleep, I felt like I was gross with frog poo on my sheets. Frog poo always sticks to the bed. I hate when the frogs poo on me. It gets in my head about the frog poo, and I don't know what to do. I hate all these froggies, man. I'm a froganarian. Frogs. Frogs. That's it. That's the story. Another allegory story. Fattest asses. The masses with the fattest asses. Another allegory story. Alright, let's play. Let's play honest. Let's play this game forever and ever and ever. Let's play this game forever. I play this game with my friends on the weekend. I play this game, yeah, because I'm a geek, man. I play this game, yeah, you know I care. I'm gonna finish it, yeah, I swear. I play this game with my friends on the weekend. It's so cool, I won't even cheat, man. Everything's better when I play this game. Even though I'm a dork, yeah, I'm so ashamed. I'm a nerd, I like fantasy games, man. I'm such a nerd. I like RPGs. I'm such a nerd. Even CRPGs. I go to the game store, yeah, I wanna pick one. I wanna pick the game that looks fun. So I ask the clerk and he doesn't care. So then I get mad, so I just stare. Fell in love with some games on the weekend. I fell in love with some games because I'm a geek, man. Everything's better when I'm playing. I know that I should be praying. Instead, I should be in church on the weekends. Instead of playing games, oh man, what a loser. But I'm such a fan. I'm playing games with my friends on the weekend. Wait, check that. I'm playing games by myself, man. Alright, alright. Fell in love with some frogs on the weekend. Frog guts. If anybody's watching, I am gonna actually play. Frog. I don't think she actually got back to me. Frogs. Always pressed to your cheeks. Little Jim and Jerry, yeah, they know how to speak. Frog friends. Yeah, my friends are all frogs. They like to dance and prance and sing with their dogs. Their dogs can't sing, but their dogs think they can sing. But their dogs, they sound real bad when they try to sing. Bad dogs. Yeah, these bad dogs can't sing, but they constantly try to impress us, man. The dogs sing. Dogs can't sing like them all. Cats can even sing better. I tell you that. Alright, alright, let's get it. Cause met my dog friends. Yeah, my dog friends are cool. Only thing the problem is when they start to drool. The dog drool. No one likes it a lot. The consistency is really gross. It's like snot. The dog drool. No one likes it a lot. Dogs need veterinarians, but I ain't fucking scared of dog drool. I came here to party, to get nardy, to get my rock salt, eat some popcorn, party to the rock song that I'm singing. A dang a lang, you got the funky beat swing, you got the funky beat. I came here to party, to get nardy, to get my rock salt, eat popcorn, party to the rock song that I'm singing. Dang a lang, I got the funky beat swing, got the funky beat. I came here to party, to get naughty, to get my rock salt, eat popcorn, party to the rock song I'm singing. I came here to party to get. I came here to party to get naughty to get my rock song. They call me Humpty. Yes, pronounced with the umpty. Oh, how I love the Humpty. I like the girls with the boom, boom, boom. Once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. Shorties in the limo eating chicken. Oops, don't get the grease on your pantyhose. I said move over, Rover. I gotta blow my nose. I said ablominos. I said abominos. I said ablominos, abominos, abominos, ablominos, 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 abominos, ablominos, 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 abominos, ablominos. I like 'em stinky. That's pronounced with an inky. Oh, how I love them stinky. I like the girls with the boom, boom, boom. Once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. They say I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. Oh, how I love to praise thee. I like the girls with the buffalo butt. Yeah, I once got busy with a buffalo's butt. That means I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. Oh, how I love to haze thee. I saw the shorties in the limo eating chicken. I saw the shorties in the limo eating chicken. Oops, don't get the grease on your pantyhose. I said, I move over. I got a blow my nose. I said, I blow my nose. I said, I blow my nose. I said, I blow my nose, 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 I blow my nose. I said, the shorties on the lemon, now shorties eating chicken. I said, the shorties eating chicken finger licking. I said, it's all good. We in the hood, we eating chicken, and it's good. It's all good. It's finger licking. I said the shorties eating chicken. My mind is shrinking, but I'm still thinking. I like to think, yeah, I'm not a stereo, but I'm still thinking of what the scenario. They call me Humpty, announced with an umpty. Oh, how I love to Humpty. I like the girls with the boom, boom, boom. Once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. The Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump. Come on and do the Humpty hump. Oh, come on and do the Humpty hump. Sexy lady, a pretty baby. Oh, come on and do the Humpty hump. The Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump. All around the world, same song. It's just the same old song. All around the world, same song. It's just the same old song. We got the shorties in the limo eating chicken. The Humpty dance is your chance to pull your pants down and do the Humpty hump. Pull your pants down and do the Humpty hump. Hump 'em, ladies. Do the Humpty hump. Come on and do the Humpty hump. You gotta hump it, baby. Shorties in the limo eating chicken. Oh, baby. Said I wanna get with you. Your pants don't fit you. My home cat's they trying to want me. And that cat's so hungry. Ooh, I think I want some kibble too. And I'm thinking about eating blue. Tell the shorty man, what's the scenario? And you know what? I could never fuck a scary hoe. Oh, I like shorties on that frickin'. Yeah, they eating chicken and it's finger licking. I know it's stinking. They make the first song. They eat too much chicken and now the fuck going, oh no. Yeah, I'm not the homo. Yeah, I play the cards and you know I get the uno. Baby, you're like the cats with the boom boom meow. Once got busy with a cat that sounds like a cow. Yeah, the kitty, he did move now. Yeah, I didn't know what to do. Oh, wow. What are we doing? What do I do? What do I say? Where do I go? How do I play? What do I do? What do I say? Where do I go? How do I play? I get a little bit crazy sometimes in my mind, 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 in my mind. Yeah, I get a little bit crazy. Yeah, I get a little bit crazy sometimes in my mind, in my mind. I get a little bit crazy. I get a little bit crazy sometimes in my mind. baby. I get a little bit crazy sometimes in my mind. I get a little bit crazy. I get crazy, crazy. I get a little bit crazy sometimes in my mind. I get a little bit crazy sometimes in my mind. I get a little bit crazy sometimes in my mind, yeah. I get a little bit crazy. I get a little bit, yeah. I get a little bit crazy sometimes in my mind. Nobody's watching, so I'm gonna stream this.